What is going on, YouTubers? I'm here to show you my new favorite sleep system that I just discovered. I've had this thing out in the field, I've tested it, and I want to share it with you because, oh man, I'm so happy I found this thing. So stick around, it's going to be a good video. So I wanted to do something a little different today. I wanted to share with you the sleep system that I found for camping, backpacking, getting out in the woods. But it's kind of difficult to show this stuff out in the field. So I've had this out in the woods, and I tested it, did an overnight with it, and it performed the way I wanted it to. So now I feel confident to show it to you, but I thought it'd be a lot easier just to kind of lay this out on the table, do this indoors, and I can talk you through the features of this thing. And then I'm going to cut in some video of me actually using this stuff so you can see it, how it looks out in the field and how I was utilizing it. And then we'll wrap up and I'll tell you what I think about it. What we're looking at today is a sleeping bag from Atepa and a sleeping pad from Atepa. Now, I've had probably all the major brands for sleeping pads and sleeping bags, Thermarest and Climate and all those. And, they have served me well. And then I kind of got out of using that stuff and went to a hammock. But recently, within the last year, I've been having a lot of problems with my lower back. I've got some compressed spine back there, and I'm having an issue with my hip. I've got a torn labrum. So sleeping in a hammock has not really worked out the last few times I've done it because it's unsupported. You're hanging, and I need more support for my back. I need something that's a little bit more rigid. So I recently went to the ground, got back into that, and I quickly realized that the pads that I had were very inadequate, not very comfortable. So we're going to be looking at today is the Atepa. This is the Packlite H9. It's their sleeping pad. This does have insulation built into it, so there's an R factor to it. And it's kind of a very different sleeping pad from what I'm used to. And I'm going to show you here in a minute. Now, one thing I'm going to say right out of the gate is that with this sleeping pad, you absolutely have to use a pump. You don't want to blow it up with your breath. And I say that because when I took this out the first time, I forgot the pump, and I was stuck. I wanted to get it blown up quickly because it was getting cold. It's like 35, 40 degrees, something like that. So I blew it up with my mouth and worked fine. But when I got home and I was taking it out of my bag, I noticed that you can actually see into this pretty well. It's semi-translucent. I could see little water droplets. So now the bag itself does have a built-in pump system, but from experience with these kinds of things, it's going to take you a while to do that. So it's not ideal to pump up your pad that way. I would consider that more of an emergency. That's going to pump it up quickly. And it's not going to put any moisture or warm air into the pad. Okay, So here's the pad all blown up. As you can tell, there is a grid system, little individual cells, and in the sunlight you can actually see into this thing a little bit, and there is a Reflectex type material inside of it that helps reflect your heat up. Now, like I said, when I camped with this, it was, you know, mid 30s, low 40s at night, and it was cold, and I slept so warm and comfortable on this pad. Okay, so the sleeping bag is the Atepa Peak Vent 520, and let me get my glasses here, and I'll try to read you some specs. So it is 78.7 by 33.5 inches. It has an outer fabric of 20D 400T nylon. It has a lining of 20D 400T nylon, and the filling is Cold Master down 360G top, and then the bottom is polyester 160G bottom. Weight for the sleeping bag is 3.4 pounds. Extreme comfort level of about 10.4 Fahrenheit and up to 44.5 Fahrenheit. So that's kind of the range. You know, 10 degrees maybe a little pushing it for temperature rating, but we'll find out as I use this thing. Is a little bit different than other sleeping bags because it has all the insulation on the top, and the bottom actually has this, what I would call kind of like a bikini, that wraps around and hugs the pad, so the pad becomes integrated with your sleeping bag, and then you can crawl into it, and you're not going to be rolling off your pad in the middle of the night, which, when I used to sleep in tents, that was always such a big deal. I always hated that. You know, you'd wake up and you'd be off of your pad in the corner of your tent. And it was like, this is ridiculous. I wish somebody would solve this problem. Well, someone has. So what you do is, it has cutout corners. You're going to wrap those around. And it does have straps on the bottom as well, so you can pull those through. Probably the best way to do this would be actually to thread this all the way through and then blow up your pad, so that way when it blows up, it's conforming to the bag already, and you don't have to try to slip it in. And as you can see, this is more of a rectangular sleeping bag. It is not a true mummy bag, which gives you more room, more leg room, more room to roll, but all your insulation is on the top. So now that this is joined with the pad, you're able to unzip this from either side, left or right, and crawl into this thing. And there's your sleeping bag. And another cool feature is it has this hood, but the hood is not a traditional hood like in a mummy bag where you put it around your head and around your neck and your face sticks out. This is more square, like the bag itself, but you can cinch this up a little bit. But what I found this was perfect for is my pillow went in there, and I didn't lose my pillow, because that is the other issue with sleeping in sleeping bags and in tents. And then a few more features. This does actually have zippers on the bottom, which is kind of unusual. But if you don't want to have your feet confined, some people don't like that, or maybe for whatever reason you want to sleep with your shoes on. I don't know. I mean, you've got that option, but yes, you can undo the bottom right here, unzip it, and your feet can pop out the bottom. Very comfortable, super soft on the inside. I like the material. It doesn't feel clammy or hot. The pad has done really well because I don't feel like I have any kind of aches or pains in the morning when I wake up. Usually I would get like some kind of spots on my hip or my shoulders, and I didn't have it with this. And then of course the pad is so warm. That was awesome, just having a nice warm pad. I didn't feel the cold of the ground coming through on my tent, and I slept like a baby in this thing. It was awesome. I'm so happy I found it. So if you guys like this video, do me a favor, consider subscribing, and if you haven't, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. If you got questions, let me know. I will have links to these items in my Amazon store. You can check out the specs there. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer.